foundations and legacies he laid during his tenure, just as he himself had built on the efforts and achievements of his own predecessor, while also using the opportunity to commend the APC National Executive Committee, NEC, and other organs of the party for ensuring a transparent and consultative-driven process that led to the emergence of Professor Yelwada. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has scheduled its national convention for Saturday, November 15th to Sunday, November 16, 2025 in Ibadan, Oyo State. This was part of the resolution reached at the National Executive Committee NEC meeting held in Abuja. The NEC mandated the acting national chairman, Ambassador Umar Damagun, and the national secretary, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, to officially write to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to notify it of the planned convention. Our correspondent, Ubong Usoro, tells us more. We apologize, and that report will be brought in our subsequent bulletin. The Senate has adjourned plenary to September 23, 2025, marking the end of the current legislative year with a directive to all committees to conclude work on pending reports ahead of resumption. Topsy Gimba has details.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, made the announcement after a closed-door executive session that lasted for over an hour. He charged all standing and ad hoc committees to make effective use of 2-month break to finalize their assignments in order to ease legislative consideration and adoption upon resumption. In his earlier remarks, Senator Akpabio also encouraged lawmakers to use the recess period to inspect road construction projects in their constituencies and across the country.
The suspension is just plenary sittings. All ad hoc committees should continue to work. All necessary committees, Diaspora Committee, Committee on Reparation, Committee on Interior, and others. This is the best time for you to undertake visits to prisons and all that. Do all your reports and make them available as soon as we come back. We'll have a special day to consider all reports. And then all the other committees, reports extended to you, you must also make sure that those reports are ready for Senate scrutiny when plenary commences. You are moving from plenary for the next few weeks, but you are not stopping your legislative functions.
Meanwhile, senators are expected to travel to Jos Plateau State on Friday to attend the burial of the wife of their colleague, Senator Dike Plan, representing Plateau Central.
We will all converge at Jos to beat the wife of our colleague, the Civil Senator Dike Plan, Mrs. Plan, farewell as she goes back to her Creator. May her soul once again rest in perfect peace.
The long recess is an annual break for countries practicing democracy around the world, which by its annual calendar ends in June of every legislative year. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
The Senate has refuted recent social media claims that the Constitution Review Committee proposed creating 12 new states in Nigeria. Senator Abdul Ningi, representing Bauchi Central, dismissed the report as false during plenary under Order 42, clarifying that the committee has neither received any zonal review report nor deliberated on state creation bills. Topsy Gimba has details.
State is fake, is toxic, and is an irresponsible media outlet. So it is important, Mr. President, to take this matter to Nigerians that the Senate has not, for now, sat on any committee's report from the zonal levels. The main committee is yet to even be received.
The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, also expressed concern about the spread of such misinformation, highlighting it.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria has not even concluded the processes of getting a final report for deliberation on constitutional amendment, and therefore no single state, proposed or otherwise, has been created. And even if that were to be the case, it will involve all the houses or assemblies in the country, and we must get their 2/3 concurrence before anything can come back to us.
Further clarifications emphasized that the ongoing constitutional review involves public hearings across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones, gathering suggestions, including requests for new states and local government areas, but no formal decisions or approvals have been made by the Senate or its committee. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
The House of Representatives has expressed its determination to ensure timely and accessible justice delivery in the Federal Capital Territory. This comes as lawmakers held a public hearing on 2 key bills aimed at strengthening the judiciary and expanding access to justice for residents. National Assembly correspondent Annette Patrick reports.
The call for a more efficient justice system in the nation's capital echoed at the National Assembly complex in Abuja. Chairman House Committee on FCT Judiciary, Honorable Adamu Gamawa, says the House is determined to make justice delivery faster, more efficient and accessible to all residents of the FCT, regardless of social class. The first bill seeks a constitutional amendment to increase the number of judges in the FCT, while the second proposes the establishment of lower courts with jurisdiction over both civil and criminal matters.
Well, there are 2 bills actually. One is to increase the number of judges in the FCT to at least no less than 100. We all know that the federal capital is expanding every day. People are coming in. Wherever you have so many people, you expect to have some disputes. So the burden of the cases on the present number of judges is very, very cumbersome.
Speaker of the House, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, represented by the Deputy Minority Leader, Honorable Aliyu Madaki, reaffirmed the House commitment to judicial reforms and the rule of law.
Is a direct exercise of that constitutional mandate. It affirms our commitment to check and balances, good governance and the rule of law.
Also speaking at the hearing, President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Afam Osigwe, declared the NBA's full support for the bills, but called for reforms in customary law practices, including the removal of Section 16 of the existing provisions.
Into taking cognizance of the fact that Section 15, I think, has earlier made provision that it can apply principles of common law and equity. And then also now saying it should also apply principles of common law that may create a problem. And to avoid conflict of jurisdiction, as that would also implicitly suggest that since it can apply principles of common law, then it can adjudicate on common law issues.
The House says the public hearing provides an opportunity for stakeholders to exchange ideas and fine-tune the proposed legislations to achieve effective judicial reforms. Annette Patrick, Global Television News.
Governor Hope Uzodinma has observed that lasting peace and security in Imo State's border communities are key to driving the state's socio-economic development. The governor stated this while inaugurating the new Imo State Boundary Committee, which is expected to strengthen boundary management and promote peaceful coexistence among communities. Our correspondent, Amarachi Ibe, tells us more.
Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma emphasized that effective boundary administration is crucial for resolving disputes and preventing conflicts. He called on the committee to carry out its duties with dedication and transparency.
And charge this committee to be diligent and do whatever it will take to return peace in the disagreeing communities in Imo State and in handling all boundary issues in Imo State, so that Imo State will have peace, bring prosperity, and the enabling environment that will guarantee the realization of our aspirations as a government.
In her response, the chairman of the committee, who is also the deputy governor, Chinyere Komaru, pledged to work with the stakeholders to peacefully resolve boundary issues and strengthen unity across the state.
We work hard to perform the duties for which we have been inaugurated today, ultimately adding value to your administration and bringing happiness to the great people of Imo State, which is your heart's desire.
The committee is expected to help maintain peace, build stronger community relations, and promote good governance throughout the state. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Emir of Gusau in Zamfara State, Ibrahim Bello, has died at the age of 71 after battling a long-term illness. He passed away on Friday in Abuja. The news of his death was confirmed by Suleiman Idris, spokesperson to Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal. In an official statement, Governor Lawal mourned the loss, describing the late Emir as a dependable monarch who worked tirelessly for the peace and progress of Zamfara State. You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, Tinubu approves full allowances and bonuses for Super Falcons ahead of WAFU final. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Cycle on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, the federal government has announced plans to launch a new funding initiative, the STEM Up Grant, in August 2025, which will provide up to 50 million naira in startup capital to each selected undergraduate innovator in science and technology disciplines. The disclosure was made by Dr. Maruf Tunji Alausa, the Honorable Minister of Education, via a statement released on his official X account. The initiative is scheduled to be formally unveiled on Wednesday, August 28, 2025, and will target full-time undergraduate students in Nigeria's tertiary institutions studying science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medical sciences, STEM specifically those in the 300 level and above. The Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC) has declared that state governments and their regulatory agencies lack the authority to unilaterally reduce electricity tariffs for power supplied from the national grid. The Commission made this position known in a public notice titled Application of Multiple Tariff Regimes in Nigerian Electricity Supply Industry. The public notice came on the heels of the controversy over the Enugu Electricity Regulatory Commission EERC reduction of tariffs for the Band A customers in its franchise areas from 2009 naira per kilowatt per hour to 160 naira per kilowatt per hour. The Naira 11 has recorded its first appreciation against the dollar this week across the official empowered foreign exchange market. The Central Bank of Nigeria foreign exchange data showed that the value of the Naira stood at 1,534.79 Naira per dollar, up from 1,535.62 Naira traded last week. This means the Naira gained 0.83 marginally against the dollar on a day-to-day basis. And on the foreign scene now, France defended its decision to recognize Palestinian statehood amid domestic and international criticism, including against the change that move plays into the hands of militant group Hamas. President Emmanuel Macron that his country will formally recognize a Palestinian state during a United Nations meeting in September, the most powerful European nation to announce such a move. Macron's announcement drew condemnation from Israel, which said it rewards terror, while United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio called it reckless and said it only serves Hamas propaganda. Iranian diplomats are meeting their counterparts from Germany, the United Kingdom, and France for renewed nuclear talks amid warnings that the three European powers could trigger net back United Nations sanctions outlined under a previous 2015 deal. The meeting, which is underway in Turkey, Istanbul, is the first since Israel's mid-June attack on Iran, which led to an extensive 12-day conflict with the United States militarily intervening on Israel's behalf and attacking key Iranian nuclear sites. Israel's offensive, which killed top commanders, nuclear scientists, and hundreds of civilians as residential areas were stuck, as well as derailed United States-Iran nuclear talks that began in April. Thailand has called for a peaceful resolution to deadly border fighting with Cambodia, saying it prefers to settle the matter through bilateral dialogue while leaving the door open to potential involvement from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations if necessary. Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesman Narodai Bakulkure said that the situation on ground held improved slightly, although clashes had resulted in casualties. Thailand has said tried to reach out to the Cambodian government in the hopes of easing tension. In sports stories now, President Bola Tinubu has approved the full payment of allowances and match bonuses for the Super Falcons ahead of their final match against Morocco in 2025 Women's African Cup of Nations WAFCON. The chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, made the announcement while speaking with reporters in Abuja, stating that confirmed that all entitlements up to and including the final on July 26 have been dispersed for immediate payment to players, coaches and officials. Diko described the gesture as policy in motion and demonstration of a renewed commitment to Nigerian athletes under Tinubu's leadership. In a bold step to revive grassroots sports, the House of Representatives has launched a nationwide distribution of sporting kits across Nigeria's 360 federal constituencies. The House Committee on Sports, in collaboration with the National Sports Commission, says it is designed to promote youth participation in sports and facilitate talent discovery. Power, pride and perseverance are on full display in Abuja as the 14th African Arm Wrestling Championship and the 7th Para Arm Wrestling Championship have brought together 400 athletes from 20 African countries, turning Nigeria's capital into the battleground of Africans' fiercest grip on glory. President of the African Arm Wrestling Federation, Charles Ose Osibe, says the event marks a new milestone for the sport's development in Africa. The Confederation African Football has appointed Namibian referee Astisio to be in charge of proceedings from the host Morocco trade tackles with the Super Falcons in a blockbuster Women's African Cup of Nations 2025 final in Rabat. He becomes the first coach official from the Southern African country to take charge of a Women's African Cup of Nations final in history. She was selected by the continent's football governing body following her exceptional performance during ongoing competition. Revealed her excitement upon learning the development, stating that Women's African Cup of Nations is a major competition and expectations are high. We have to go in with the mindset that the whole continent is watching and give our absolute best. End of quote. That's it on News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good evening.